right, guys, here we are for Season 4, Episode 9 of The Twilight Zone. So what did you think about this episode?
I liked it.
I think this episode was pretty good. I think it could have ended better, but in general, this is an episode about a guy who owns a failing newspaper, and the devil makes him a little bargain to be his, like, what do they call the job? A linotype operator? Yeah, linotype operator and reporter, a combo. And I was like, okay, that guy might be one of the best actors Twilight Zone's ever had. That devil.
The George Burns looking devil, dude. Yeah, he was awesome.
He was really good. That machine, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The printing press
like,
type
what the
shit.
Fuck?
Yeah.
And you're watching it happen, and I'm like, are those the little letters? Like, what? Like, it doesn't even look like they spell words. It looks like they're all the same.
He's like arranging plates that then they must put into the press.
Yeah.
It's insane. I love it so much, and I feel like I don't even know if like your average person knew about this then, but no one knows about it now. So it's so foreign. They're like playing montages. He's like happily typing at this giant like harpsichord-looking machine, and plates are falling out. It's that alone made this episode for me.
Very interesting. It's like when you type a W, a plate of a W slides down
into the
like
thing.
I remember seeing like old. Like, I think my closest thing to this is like old West things where like by hand like putting okay, we're gonna spell out this and that and whatever.
Yeah,
like,
they had like a little
thing.
thing.
Do that, sir. There's not enough E's. Like. Like, how many must there be? It's insanity.
Ridiculous.
And I wonder what you run out, you just run out. You're out. Can't do those words. What's a synonym that has different letters?
And they print out like temp articles where it's just the headline and like the article shape like in the middle and like blank around it because that's where you put like flower pots are 20% off or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, like for nerdy stuff, that was awesome.
Yeah, I remember a thing like that in typography class where like, so okay, like you do this, and then you have this much room, so yours has to wrap around in this pattern,
like flow
and your picture's going to be here, so wrap around those. And I'm seeing that applied in real life.
Adobe InDesign, install it today.
You could.
No one has.
It's part of the suite.
No one's seen it in years.
Why would you?
Oh, it's amazing. So yeah, part of this too though is about the old style news.
Yeah.
And we live in the new style now. So they're like, it was within an hour of the event happening. How could they possibly have told people? And I'm like, that's hilarious. And I
didn't
love
know
it.
ever newspapers came out like 3 a day. I had no idea there was a morning.
The morning edition. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good. That's interesting. I'm a young idiot who doesn't know about the past.
They didn't have Twitter.
Of course
so they had to have a morning edition. What if, in everything that's been happening since they wrote the last newspaper, you have to know.
Yeah.
You have to have those dudes shouting or whatever. It's such a crazy time warp type thing just to think about, like, the big scandal. How did you get the news so early?
Yeah.
It's like, it's been an hour. That's crazy. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Well, mine, just thinking the logistics of, like, okay, let's say you even just do 2 papers in a day. You have to run them all off and then organize people to ship them off to where they have to go. And then how do you get paid? Is it by when they actually get sold? Because if you're just running off arbitrarily, sometimes we have a midday, sometimes we don't, and they just get dropped off at the newspaper guy. Yeah. How does that even work? It's a wonder why they're going out of business.
There must be a whole network of news people or something like that, right? He takes all those nickels in his like thing and gives it to them or some weird.
But even to have a midday thing, if you weren't pre-planning to do that and you just got a good story and had to run one, you still have to fill the rest of the paper with shit. It's not just like one page that's just a headline. It's really crazy.
He says it'd be a hassle, right?
Yeah, of course it would.
And like that's part of how people kind of catch on. The one, Miss Benson, I think.
I thought you were gonna say Miss America.
Miss America, the pageant, it's out there. Steve Harvey, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's hard.
No, like Miss Benson says, how did he spin them all off? How did he deliver them? How did like not like how did he know about the thing that happened? It's like those logistics that kind of tip her off, and it's kind of
honestly.
Yeah, I expected some sort of scene of like, okay, Charlie, we'll do it a little, Doug, whatever. We'll do it like a little slower for you. Don't worry about it. I don't want to arouse suspicion. George Burns. Cigar.
Did you love how every cigar was always bent and mangled? Like he
was
just
all
keeps
filmed,
them like in his fist.
It was all filmed in like one thing. Yeah. He has like a normal cigar, and like then it becomes bent, and it is bent from that point onward. And he's toothing it, and it's falling apart. And he's just loving it.
Put it in my mouth.
Yeah, in my mouth, bitch. He says.
Were you satisfied by the ending?
I kind of like the idea of because the devil newspaper man keeps saying I made some modifications to this machine, which I thought was a lie, and he was just the devil. But it turns out he did enchant a typesetting machine, and anyone who used it could like change the course of like
predict
events.
the future based on it.
So
now it's interesting, but
no, not predict, cause the future.
Yes.
That was the other thing where I thought like, well, he just knows what's going to happen because he's the devil. He's in the loop.
No, he's forcing it to happen.
But the guy accuses him. Yo, I'm making those people die, and he's like, come on, news, sign this shit. Yeah.
The thing that got me though is like if you were going to try to pull a fast one on the devil, it seemed like a weird way to do it, to be like, and he realized the contract was null and void because he didn't know the full scope of what he was signing.
And then he left town to terrorize other people for all eternity.
Yeah, you could have said something like, and then he was trapped forever, or he died in the car crash,
yes.
or he remains a paraplegic, unable to move, like, something you could have, taken
really
evil out of the world.
Yeah, I think.
But ultimately, I want him to die. I want him to kill himself.
I think that there's an assumption that like the devil is this force that cannot like you just barely get away. You couldn't possibly mount an offense because of like the time frame too. I think today, Jordan Peele may have him like fuck over the devil in like the same way and then have something horrible happen.
Because in my head it's like if you take a shot at the king and you don't kill him, you're fucked.
Exactly.
Like that's gonna happen. So
Yeah,
I'd be like, if I'm gonna take a shot, I'm gonna aim for the head.
He can come at you with like a new deal. Yeah, exactly. I loved the scene of him getting him to sign the contract where he starts using all this psychology. He like flips it around. What are you afraid? A grown man believes in the devil. Come on, sign it, bitch. And he's like, fuck you. I'll sign it right now. I'll sign it twice. Yeah, he goes crazy.
Nowadays there'd be like a thing like, if you're the devil, you gotta tell me. That's the law.
That's the law, right? What's up? Passes the cigar back and forth.
But when he found the gun, and I was like, all right, dude, like your girl's gonna die now.
Yeah.
Either way, you're going to hell. What does it matter?
Right, cash in.
I wanted him to like kill himself moments before the car crashes, and like the devil just to blink out of the car, and the car just like putter off to the side, and her go, what happened? And it just like would end there and not make any sense.
It's a rare like happy ending in like a way.
Yeah.
Or like a too happy ending, right?
A little bit.
So like I also would have loved for him to eat a bullet for his girl, but that's not the Twilight Zone's vibe usually. They'd have to do some. He'd be like, come on, take me instead. Come on, right here. Come back. I know what your game is, man. Bob, Sally, Jim. And then he'd be like,
you're okay, you got gumption.
Right away, guy. And they would do a thing, and he would end up with like something.
Or if you're going to do it like a happy ending, have him like get the devil out of there, but then he goes to jail for arson, like something, like, because you couldn't have explained that. Well, we'll see you in court.
Right, because he even says, like, I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you, but the Twilight Zone does not punish him. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Something. I thought for such a great episode, which really just carried solely on that one actor. Who I was just like, I love this guy. Like everything he does is great.
He was a card, definitely.
I thought it was ruined by that happy ending.
Okay. I actually also liked it because it tells like a story.
Yeah.
There's the beginning, the middle, and the end. The music kicks in. There's like an actual arc with like a climax at the right point when they're like crossing paths, going across town, trying to find each other to like do whatever. I was like, oh, it's like it's like a little movie. It's not just like a weird like there's a beginning, but like you could have cut it out and made it 20 minutes, and now it's the real part.
Sure.
Like, it felt
with
like a cool
that beginning though. What is it? The Miracle on 34th Street? Like it felt like that, but instead of an angel coming to him, the devil came to him, and I was like, that's pretty decent. Like I don't hate that. Is it Miracle on 34th Street?
Scrooged, you're thinking?
No. What's the one? Clarence.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life, except not an angel, it's the devil.
I thought it might be something like that too, where this is like Devil's Advocate, where this is all happening real quick right before he jumps off the ledge.
That would be better too.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But I like dark, horrible things. This was good enough for me that I was able to be won over by it. But I do feel you like
that could have been like the French one though, like
where
if the situation did arise where he did kill himself to save the girl, and then it ends with a splash,
and he's
in the water,
or he's floating there or something, and it's like
I would have liked that. Let's redo this. That would have been great.
Again. Good times.
But I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was good. It had all the things I would require except for a good ending. It was a fun watch. I thought this was one of the few hour-long ones that I was like, no, this didn't feel like a schlock, like fucking like work my way through this thing that could have been 20 minutes.
It felt worth it. It felt like a little above the other ones. So I'm like, cool.
All right, guys, that's our thoughts on this episode of Twilight Zone. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching Just Daggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.